motorcycle lady, San Diego, California.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Bob. How are you today?
I'm fine.
Good.
And I appreciate you taking the time to do our little interview here today.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here.
And we're at in front of San Diego Harley Davidson. Now, as I told you before, this is kind of different. Most of the interviews we do are with people who are riding bikes, but I know you don't ride. Did you ever have a desire to ride?
No, I never wanted to drive a motorcycle myself, but I always loved bikes. And in fact, when I moved out to San Diego, there was a couple of guys who came to where I worked, and they had these beautiful Harleys with the saddlebags, very classic motorcycles. And I was like, oh, they're so beautiful, you can park in my spot. So I would let them park in my, the manager spot. And I've always admired bikes. I never wanted to learn how to actually drive one, but then about 4 years ago, I met someone who had a really nice Harley and said, you want to go for a ride? And I'm like, okay. I was a little frightened, but we went slow and did around the block, and then I kept going a little further and then fell in love with it. We go up the coast, we go out to Laguna, and you see so much nature, etc. Being on a bike, not being surrounded by a vehicle. It's kind of like being out on a boat in the water. You see so much more along the coast. So I started riding with him, and then I just, like I said, fell in love with it and really enjoy, I guess, the open road. And who didn't love Sons of Anarchy?
That was a great series.
That was a great series. Oh my gosh, I couldn't wait for the next episode. But I'm not into all of that. But it just was fun. It was a great series, and you can just understand they're wanting to be on the open road. But yeah, and the bikes are beautiful. Your bike is beautiful. I've always admired it. I worked a few of the shows, and it was always, I'd go right to the motorcycles to see what kind of bikes were there. And they're just a great fun, a great hobby.
Okay, Debbie, so now you said you went out with a fellow who had a bike, and
yes.
You went on a ride and stuff. And I'm sure you went out with guys who don't have bikes. Do you notice any difference between the two?
No, not really. I don't. I guess there's definitely a certain coolness about a guy who owns a motorcycle and rides a bike. It's like that little bad boy image, I suppose. But my work too, I work around a lot of guys who ride motorcycles, and like I said, I really appreciate it. The skill to be able to ride, I can appreciate, and like I said, I think it's a wonderful hobby, and they're beautiful. They're just beautiful machines, and anyone who owns them, they treat them like their babies. So you can just tell how much love and how much interest they have in what they're doing.
Okay, so let me ask you a hypothetical question. A lot of my readers are obviously young guys and stuff. All right, so if you had two guys, both together, one guy with a good-looking bike, the other guy with a car, okay, and they both ask you out, which guy would you go with, knowing nothing else?
Knowing nothing else? Yeah, I'd probably go out with the guy with the bike.
Debbie, I appreciate your time. Thanks again.
Thank you very much, Bob.
If you're into custom motorcycles, be sure to get a free subscription to our popular motorcycle blog. Check the text below. Thanks.